Alright, so this is Student Car, and this is another video once again. So this is a video of me living in a major flood zone when I was younger, before moving to the big city out here. I mentioned it in a live before a couple weeks back, but I decided to go ahead and mention it once again for any of the new viewers or subscribers. So I used to live in a major flood zone. Initially, I used to live in the next town over, known as Cary, and I used to live in a mobile home area, and this was like right around the time that, well, the time that we found out that it was an actual flood zone. We found out because my mom had wanted to get the city to help do something about the river or the creek behind our house flooding all the time. um initially the city wouldn't do anything about it until my mom got in contact with the surveyor for the town that we lived in, and he looked up the records and the satellite imagery and all of the regulations, and apparently the street that I used to live in was a major flood zone, which meant that street didn't even exist at all whatsoever in any registries uh to have been approved, apparently, to being built there. But the landowner still built the street knowing that that was a major hazard flood area. Initially, it got so bad one year, the flooding got so bad one year that it basically fried our transformer box in our trailer that we used to live in, that we had to go stay at a freaking Best Western hotel for almost an entire month. Thankfully, the Red Cross came in clutch the day that it happened, and they went ahead and paid for the Best Western hotel for about the month that we needed to get the transformer fixed. But I remember that entire portion of the memory feeling so almost very eerie but out of place. I remember being able to actually enjoy free meals that were offered at the hotel, free breakfast and stuff. I remember the day that we left the house, it was really hot. AC it was the AC wasn't working at all, obviously, because there was no there was no power. I remember the house being so hot. I remember going to McDonald's right after leaving the house, and I remember throwing up in the parking lot after we got out of McDonald's because I played too much in the playhouse with a bunch of kids that I met at the McDonald's, and oh man, it was just a whole fiasco. I remember my sister's ex-husband working at that same McDonald's. I also remember watching Wally in the hotel that we were staying at. I remember swimming in the pool in the hotel we were staying at. I remember a lot of things. I remember finally being able to walk into the house and freaking finally feel the cool air in the house. I remember getting off of the bus or having my mom wait for me at the bus stop to take me back to the hotel. I mean, not being able to go home to your house and having to go to a hotel for an entire month, it was really a different out of awakening experience, I would say. Being in a flood zone, immensely for that fact, was probably the worst thing that could have ever really happened. But finally, we ended up getting out of there in 2016. I believe when this whole flood thing happened with the transformer was probably like in 2011, 2012, around there, from what I could recall. I wasn't too far off from what I could recall, but definitely very good memories, I would say, for sure, that I could really recall too. But yeah, this is the video of me living in a flood zone when I was younger. More videos coming soon.